What up, boys and girls? Week 18 is finally here. We're going to have our normal segments, Pez of the Week, Sharp Square. Buy low, sell high is going to be a little weird this week. But the way you show your love, like and
I only X'd out
subscribe.
3 of them.
So
it's only 3 of the buy low, sell high involved 2 teams eliminated.
Yeah. So there's, we'll have a little off there. You degenerates with your short attention spans, don't forget below, but you can check us out everywhere. Don't forget, guys, if you're paying juice, you shouldn't be, right? It's why Bet Openly exists, okay? And an example, we'll talk about our man last night in a little college football, Cam Scatabo, and his rush yards. If you laid an open bet at Bet Openly, you got it at plus 110. Instead of laying minus 110 to minus 115 at books.
At kickoff, Trev, it was over 100.5 plus 110. Oh. Books had over 105.5 minus 110.
Yep.
5 free yards, 20 points swing. I don't have the balls with props because I don't know props like you. So I only did a unit. But man, it broke my heart because I think someone put a 7-rack bet out. I took a rack. I think there was still 3,000 left at the end. So 3 more filled after me. But I hope that user, no one's ever emailed me, not one person, and said, I'm glad this bet didn't fill. You saved me 3 or 4 bands. Not one person has ever done that. I have lost count of the people. This bet would have won. You owe me. Why are you canceling my bets? Dude.
Yeah. But yeah, it's there.
Thanks, man.
Yep. So there's a ton of stuff. And we got to talk about this because it is, a DD show as well. I want you guys to understand the math of this because I've done this. Gino and I have very similar histories in how we've bet and come up and how long we've done this. Okay. Gino just went up 176 units for the year, guys. This isn't like fake documented. It's documented in 5 spots. 5. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5, guys. 176 unit, guys, with an average bet size of 1.1 units. We got out.
Thank you, brother. I mean, we'll end with this before we start feeding, and then I'm going to tap into Anthony right here. I made Bet Openly for me because I was tired of getting smoked in juice and cut off places. So we'll leave it there. Anthony, be careful, my dude. I believe you, but this is actually, I want to agree with you first, and then I want to battle you second. This week is going to be possibly life-changing money. Hard stop. Please do not make this the biggest week you bet in terms of volume. It's the inverse, dude. Most of the games have one team that it matters, one team it doesn't. So you're betting against backups that you cannot. And Dixon, we covered this, bro. Playoffs. You cannot go all in on a big play. We're going to give out plays. I'll have a full card for DD, but it's going to be half units and 1 units because the variables are against secondary players, the second and third stringers for starters, and some are going to impress and some are going to disappoint. So please, I would actually
let me address this from a prop side, okay? Because you guys are going to see everybody. You're going to see the incentives, and some of these really matter, guys. Like some of these incentives really matter, right? You got guys like, like Geno Smith at 185 yards is a 2 milli. A win is another 2 million. Geno's got 6 mil on the line.
It's crazy.
He's going to be massively overbet, guys. Massive. Everybody's going to be on the over because it's theirs. Like that's how you get burned, is because you got to see, does the team need to win and or does that matter, right? Like there's be really careful with you guys saying, oh, this guy's going to get there, right? Like he only needs 1 sack or he needs, a few receptions or he needs 58 yards. Like Calvin Ridley needs 59 yards for 1,000-yard season. That is going to be in everybody's single game parlay. Be careful, guys. Like that's how you get burnt in week 18.
I know, dude. And so just be careful, my dudes. Well, we're going to cover everything. Thanks for all the love for Trev and I. Trev, you want to dive into Peasant of the Week and get some?
Oh my gosh, this is, and it ties in with what he just said today. So our peasant of the week is the Dallas Cowgirls. They have looked terrible all year. They can only manage a first quarter TD against the Eagles. And then McCarthy gets asked today who he tends to start at quarterback this week. And he said, I really don't want to talk about it. Like, that's his answer. They are so bad. McCarthy's getting fired, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Like Jerry's done with him.
So I guess, Jerry's a billionaire, right? He acts as the GM and the president, right? And the owner. Does he have 3 fucking titles?
Yeah.
I don't hate him as much as other people because he drafts actually semi-decent. I don't think he signs well. And I'll go all the way back to the first episode, guys, preseason. I cannot believe Henry is not a Cowboy.
Yep.
They brought back Ezekiel, and then they signed Dak like that. Take fucking 10 mil off Dak's or 20 mil off Dak's and give it to fucking Henry for 2 years. So I don't know. I don't know if he's aging and he's losing it or what, but Matt converted this year, so something's right. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what's happening with some of these orgs. Appreciate all the love, guys. I agree with this. The Cowboys, guys, this goes all the way back. And you guys can vote on this somewhere. And Trev, let's break our hearts real quick. Who's having a worse season, the Niners or the Cowboys? I think it's the Niners.
I think we are for sure.
Like, people laugh at Dallas and say, yeah, they'll win a Super Bowl. The Niners were, I remember this like it was yesterday, and I'm sorry if I lost you guys money, which I'm sure I did. The Niners were 3-3 and still second or third in the Super Bowl odds. And that made me feel good. I think I gave out them to win the West because they were third highest in Super Bowl odds, but only minus 130 to win the West. And dude, so all I'm going to say, yeah, that's actually a good one, Crazy Romanian. The Bears season, but it's like in hindsight, right? The Bears got crowned with a rookie quarterback. That was a mistake.
With a terrible offensive and quarterback coach.
Jets are up there too. For all the stability and parity in the NFL, this year actually had some of the largest downsides for really good teams. Since he fought back, but they're out, all things considered. It takes, I think they still have a sliver of hope, but it ain't looking good. Like, if you look at it, Cincy could have been a playoff team, the Niners, Dallas, like, fuck. So I don't know, my dude. It was a very interesting year. I mean, the playoffs are going to be electric.
Yeah, it's I'm excited.
The dogs bark back.
Yeah, I mean, they were short of the Titans, who are the worst covering team in NFL history.
What are they? 2-15?
2-14 as of, it's about to be 2-15, but 2-14.
Motherfuckers. I was big on them. Like,
you would be both.
Those motherfuckers.
Yeah, the
Jets made me a bunch of money. I sold the Jets early, so that was a good one.
Yeah, I did. I was high on Denver early. Denver did us really well this year. We caught Denver on the up. We caught Cincinnati back on the up.
I like this.
I caught a lot of Chase in there.
I like this.
I totally agree, Crazy Romanian. Like,
yeah, this would be sick. This is what we need to see. So sorry to all the Chiefs fans listening.
Give me a Buffalo. I'd love a Buffalo Detroit Super Bowl.
That would be Buffalo Detroit Super Bowl. Sorry, Zach. I actually think your boys have a really good shot, Zach. I think a couple weeks ago, Zach, unless I'm mistaken, I think you were worried that you guys are on the other side. You're not. Like, your windows.
I actually think the Ravens are the team that beat in the AFC, like, because they have a little bit better defense than Buffalo does. So
Bills Lions would be epic. It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Zach. You can cheer for your Ravens. I
I'm
feel
still
like the
pissed off.
NFL
Yeah.
needs, and again, I would even be just happy with Bills and Detroit both in their championship games.
Yeah.
That to me, give me that. Don't rob me of Lions and Bills both in the championship. If it's Bills, Ravens, awesome. If it's Detroit,
Philly, right?
well,
Detroit,
Philly's
Philly.
interesting, right? We got the NFC North that's going to have three teams that I'm convinced are all within a 2.5, 3.5 point score on my power rankings, no matter how you slice it. It'll be interesting where they play, the weather.
Yep.
It's gonna be these playoffs are gonna be a lot. They're gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's wild to think that, right? Like the second, arguably best team in the NFC is going to be like a fifth seed. So it's, after Sunday night. So that's kind of wild when you think about that.
Yeah, exactly. And if I was Maddie's not here, but I've been telling him it for like 3 weeks. You got to love going into the playoffs where not a lot of people are talking about you.
Yep.
I will say quarterback play is a little concerning for me. I'll win or lose. I will be fading them money line when they're favored in a spot. I'll cover that. We do this every week through the playoffs. So yeah, there's gonna be a couple positions where that Philly defense is going to get you some value on a money line reverse way. So I'll be watching that. What are we going into, Trev?
All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna skip. Yeah, we're gonna skip sharp or square because there's too many backups. Yeah, we're gonna go buy or sell. All right,
let's do it.
So, buy or sell. We got Ravens covered. Browns didn't. Up to 20 points, by the way. Bengals covered. Steelers didn't. If Ravens win, they clinch. Steelers can't really do anything if the Ravens don't lose when they can't. Bills covered. Patriots didn't. Interesting to see that May's talking about playing some. Bucks covered. Saints didn't. Everybody's still hurt from New Orleans, and we got all the craziness in New Orleans the other night. Just absolute tragedy. Commanders covered. Dallas didn't. Go back to the Peasant of the week. The Packers didn't cover, but that was a fun game. The Bears actually covered. Dolphins covered. The Jets didn't. Right, like they feel very done. And again, this is everybody sitting. The darling Chiefs covered again. Broncos didn't last week.
Ugh.
So there's some, and it's just some of those games are so much different.
I'll give it. It feels square, guys. And if you got to tell me in the comments if it's not square, because sometimes Smart will correct me and say, no, you think things are square that aren't. I like Cleveland plus 20. What is their total in that game? 10 and a half?
Yeah, I can pull it up. I can tell you. It is.
I just think of all the defenses, the kid from what is he from?
It's currently 9.5.
It's 9.5. Their freaking total is 9.5. So Baltimore.
They're talking about playing Bailey Zappi.
Oh, they are? Okay, so this is where
it's DTR and Zappi. That's why.
You just got to be careful. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Ravens defense has been overperforming. I genuinely believe they've been overperforming. So I truly think there's some value here on Cleveland plus 20. Ravens want to win the game, but with it being this wide, there's a lot of room for coverage in here, but it feels square. Feels like every square is going to be like 20.
I would go first half Ravens. Ravens go, they cover the 10.5, 11.5 first half. Lock it up. They're up by 35, 40 points. They let a couple touchdowns score. Cleveland covers. They rest everybody second half. So if I'm going a half, if you put a gun to my head and say spread, I'm going first half Ravens spread because they still need to win to lock the 3 seed for their division.
And do they want the 3 seed, right?
Yes.
Dixon, I wish I knew Dixon's real name. I don't think that, and with all the parity, I don't think they'll throw a seed because this is the kind of year that a 3 seed could wind up at home in the AFC Championship.
Because it's at home, Dixon. You got to remember, if they lose, they're not playing at home, right?
Yeah,
they want to play. The Ravens want to play at home.
You want to be home. Yeah. Aside from being home, which is huge, I genuinely think this is a year or two where no one would drop from 2 to 3. Now, I don't think anyone would. The balls it would take to do that if it didn't work. It's not something you see commonly happen, but a 2 or 3 seed could be hosting the AFC NFC Championship.
Yep.
So, you wouldn't drop a seed in that instance. It could be a 3 versus a 4, a 3 versus a 5. Like the parity's there this year.
The big one for me is the next one, right? Is now Baltimore's crushing, right? They win. Now the Steelers can't do anything. And Tomlin's already come out and said he's going to use Fields a bunch this week.
As he should.
Yeah. Are the Steelers just going to,
I don't think Fields is a huge step down.
I don't either, but do they mail it in? Do the Steelers mail it in?
I know what you're saying.
They wanted to get healthy.
The only thing is there's a couple, but this is like a top 5 defense.
Yep.
If you're the backup, you want to get in and show like you deserve some snaps in the playoffs. Remember, he was getting snaps on 3rd down, and then they kind of stopped that.
Yep. I think we see some more of that in the playoffs with him being able to roll out and run and that.
Yeah.
It's there. So that's an interesting one.
I love how they set this up, by the way. I think they should do 2 divisions like this. I think 2 divisions should be on Saturday. And I think they should be the same time. I think the 4:30 should be, or the 1 o'clock should be 2 from the same 4 teams, 2 games from the same division, and then the 4 o'clock should be 2 games from the same division. And hopefully it's a huge outcome, almost like World Cup for you guys that don't know the division rounds where it's the round robins and they play at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see the round robin style. I like that.
It would just be cool to see if they all play at once. Then you don't have to. Theoretically, Pitt doesn't have a lot to play for after the Ravens win, right?
Yeah. No, they have nothing to play for after the Ravens win.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I'm saying. So just watch that, I guess, for the.
Yep.
Ravens.
The next one for me is Bucks Saints, right? Bucks are got to win to get in, right? If they're winning in, it's a lot of points though, man.
13.5.
Yep.
Yeah, this is going to be a dog that I buy pretty heavy, guys. You want to know why? We watched the Saints get their ass kicked twice now. And we've watched Tampa Bay put up a few points. I don't think the Saints win this game. I'm not going to go that far. I do like that 13.5, and I do like where it's hanging.
Part of it is because we don't have any Carr. We don't have all the updates. It's looking like Carr and Kamara aren't going to play. Did it open
at 14 and then drop?
It's been right around here basically. Nice. It's who's going to play and who's not. Like do they get Olave, Carr, Kamara back? Is where that's hanging.
Every fucking week I look at the Niners and say I won't bet them again, and then I see Niners money line at Arizona, and I love it.
Yep.
Ricky P coming out party. All right, well let's get some official plays by the games and go through each and every one. So Carolina, Atlanta, right? That 7.5 feels nice. That game matters to Atlanta. Atlanta loses and they're done. Atlanta technically, do they look better with the new quarterback?
Oh yeah, Penix can at least move in the pocket, and he looked way more comfortable. And they came out and Raheem was like, he looked so good. He's so talented. I love where he can put the ball. He can just drop it on a dime. So Morris was pumping him up yesterday in his presser.
I do lean Carolina here, even at the 7.5, but not heavy. Just so you know, I don't love these plays.
I mean, it was up to 9 on New Year's Eve, and it's got bought down
Yeah,
to 7.5 now.
I would say I probably like the over here the most. I've really been impressed with Chuba. I think he's good. I actually been impressed with Carolina's quarterback, the team. I think they're a up and coming team. I think next year we'll see from them what we should have seen this year. Where I want to say their win total was 6.5, and I liked them to get to 7. Terrible pick in hindsight, but yeah, they're going in the right direction. So I think they fight here. I don't love it. I like the over the best.
I'm actually in the same boat. So if you ask me, I think Carolina can cover. I would have loved it at 9. I don't love it as much at 7.5, but Carolina is going to go out just guns blazing. But I like the over. I think they're both defenses have struggled. Atlanta needs to win. Carolina can come and score. We saw what they did last week. I think there's some. I think there's definitely some incentives there to get that done for them. So that's where I'd be at in that game. Texas Titans. So this Texan Titan thing is interesting, right? So
Yep.
Question. So Texans are locked, right? They're number 4 seed. They're
No matter what.
No matter what. But here's the thing. They haven't looked good. Okay. They just haven't looked good. And they need to play better. And I could see a game where I like them like first half. They come out, they run everybody first half, get reps in, spanking Tennessee, and then they stop and get everybody off just because they've looked so bad.
Yeah, it's weird because you can't sell Titans any lower. So I don't like that. That's the side that I don't like, is selling them so low.
Yep.
The only thing I will say is no one's high on the Texans right now.
Yep.
So it's just such a hard. What is it? What are they hanging it at? Pick them?
No, 1.5 to Houston. So that's where I'm like, I love like the first half money line, Houston, like give me a first half money line. They're going to come out and play their starters and look good. And, I'm going to, that's one, if you give me there, I like that first half of them doing that.
Okay. I'm not going to be buying this heavy. That spread to me means the books eat on Houston losses. Maybe I'll give you Houston in a Wong. I could give you Houston plus 7.5.
Oh, and a Wong. All right. A little Wong action. I like it.
That's 37 points. I mean, if you're going to tease guys, I'll give you Houston, but I really like the under in that game. That's my favorite play. I'm going to be on a lot of totals. So I like the under 37. I think Houston's defense needs a game with confidence to get back to that. I'm looking all the way back to Detroit versus Houston first half. That's how long it's been since I was impressed with Houston. That's how long ago that was. So
yeah, I mean, I think they're going to get ragdoll in the first round of the playoffs. So
what's going on with this order? Are we going back to Saturday now? What do you got going on there, Mike?
I know. Yeah, they're.
Jeez,
we kind of talked about this already, right? Like we talked about
Mike, skip these next two.
We talked about this.
Go Bills, Patriots. God, they play so close together.
I know. Right. I mean, the Bills are sitting everybody, right? Like it doesn't make any sense. It's there now. The thing I do like, let's talk a little props. Buffalo's going to let Von Miller try to get his sack. Okay. Vaughn gets one sack. It's $1.5 million for one sack in this game. They're going to let Vaughn is going to get to go rip and try to go out and get that sack. So that's the one spot, I like Daquan Jones too, half a sack is $250,000. I like defensive guys because they don't have to play every snap, right? Vaughn doesn't play every snap, right? He could just go out, but he's going to be right. He's going to be all gas to get that sack, and they're probably going to have what's his name, Milrow in or not Milrow. What's his name? The other kid they drafted, Milton. So they're going to like Mayo start. I think he's going to play a series or two. But if you told me I have to take a side, I'd actually take the Patriots and the points.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Bills have nothing to win, right? I'm not mistaken.
No, Bills are locked. They're done. They're two.
So it's interesting that the Pats are even dogs.
Yeah, it's just because they've been so bad, but I like that side. New England's at home. I like them I like the cover for New England here.
That might be my second Wong, is the Pats.
Ooh,
Houston to the Pats. We'll go through that later. Jags Colts, guys. We're gonna skip. We got to skip games where both teams are eliminated. There's just no way you can cap it. You don't know how the coach is going to call it. You don't know what the backups are going to play.
They're going to try to get Ridley 59 receiving yards.
Yeah,
put it in your DFS play if you can find like a 60 line. But that's what they're going to do.
And
same. Eagles are locked at 2. They don't have anything to play for.
Eagles are locked at 2. Saquon's sitting.
Yep.
Saquon.
Everybody's sitting.
Yeah. I don't think the Giants.
Oh, man, I think Philly's second string defense is probably slightly better than most of the Giants' first string offense right now.
That's evil.
And, think about how they lost the first pick of the draft by doing what they did last week.
I was going to say, though, hear me out. I'm throwing a lot of shade at the Eagles offense. I kind of like the over in this game. Okay. Everyone's going to talk about the ranking of these two defenses. I wonder if Philly kind of, you loosen the jar and you take the lid off. I just wonder. They still have talent, fast team. A bunch of players are going to be in, even with Saquon out. I wonder if there's a good spot for an over with some of the Philly D probably being rested too, not sat but rested.
Yep.
I wonder if there's a good spot for a sneaky 37.5 over.
That's the spot I like in this game. I like the over because the Giants are going to play. I think they'll score some, 37.5 is a very low total. So I like that total there.
Yeah. Let's keep going though. Commies, are they on a fence?
Yeah. So Commies got to win.
They got to win, right? And that's why and that's why it's so fucking interesting. They're getting it's 6.5.
Yep.
Is it 6 now? Even 6.5?
So let me rephrase. The Commies don't have to win, but they're seated higher if they win.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, correct. I just want to before everybody comes.
No, they want to win. Winning matters. Winning has we got to find a better way to say it, but the winning and losing affects seeding. The game matters. Yeah, I'm going to get sucked in here.
Do we skip the Saints? We skipped the Saints Bucks game. We need to talk about that game still too.
We'll go back. I will say that this might be my dog of the week, guys.
Ooh.
The Dallas Cowboys might be my dog of the week. The fact that they're hanging this around 6.5.
That is dirtier than a Tampa Bay strip club.
I mean, dude, the fact where they're hanging this.
Yep.
Versus who's having, we started off so negative. Let's be a little more positive. Yeah. Who's having the best season or most unexpected? It's got to be our old assistant GM in Washington, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Who else?
Well, they've stuck it now at 6.5. But remember, this line opened at 3, and it's up to 6.5 now.
Yeah, so I'm just taking those free points. If you look, I don't know if I give it to Denver. Maybe I do. Without a doubt, Washington Commanders are having the best outkicker coverage NFC season.
Yep.
No close second. So that's not even debatable. I'm a little torn on if it's Chargers or Denver. I'm going to go Chargers just because first year Harbaugh and they're 10-6 versus squeaking in where Sean's been there. Peyton, and they've had a lot of talent. They did draft a quarterback though, so I don't know. I guess that one's a 50-50 coin flip for me. So who would you give it to? You're giving it to Washington. We align there.
Yep.
But who would you give it to? Denver or Chargers? Or is it Pitt maybe? Maybe it's Pitt.
So for me, it's Pitt.
Like
their defense stepped up. They've had murderers row this second half of the season with their schedule.
It might be Pitt.
Denver's real close because they've overcome a rookie quarterback. Yeah, they've overcome and we've seen some of the throws Nick's missed early. Peyton's been married to old broken Javonte. They're finally didn't give him any rush attempts last week. Thank freaking goodness.
Yeah.
But I think they had that Russ Field situation. Pickens has been down a little bit, but you don't look at Pittsburgh's offense and think juggernaut. And right here they are, another winning season, rolling into the playoffs. Yeah,
it makes sense. Okay, so Pitt, I still lean Chargers a little bit, but I think you're right. Just the Chargers they've been supposed to make the playoffs the last few years.
They have the best quarterback out of the bunch, and
exactly. It's like,
I don't think it's close.
His numbers are pretty impressive. So, okay, that's fair. Let's get into Bears Packer. I'm gonna leave it, guys. I think my dog of the week is the Cowboys. If I want to go balls on the table, it's money line. I'm not mad at you if you go 6.
Let's go back. I got to cover this real quick because we skipped. Let's go back to the Tampa Bay game because we didn't get on there. And it's been brought up in chat. Just understand, we talked about the spread in that game. Yes, Mike Evans, okay, is playing for big boy money in this. Okay, he has $3 million if he gets 5 receptions and 85 yards. Baker's gonna feed him the ball.
Yeah.
The Saints are bad in the secondary. Also understand that is going to be the most bet prop of the week. The most, and it won't be close. Like there'll be Gino's not far behind.
What is the over under in catches though? It's not 4.5.
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's at 5.5. Let me look at it right now. I think they set it at 5. So just understand, guys, because they're bringing it up. It's going to be, and I mean, if they would show us the true splits, as we know, they're not going to show us. If they showed us that, it would be there. But Tampa Bay has to win. Okay, so he doesn't even have receptions up right now. Can't even get it, and his current line's at 98. So you can bet the under. He gets 87, and they sit him because they're racking him. I knew it'd be kind of around there. So it's again, just know it's going to be the most bet prop of the week, and we'll go from there. And the books might not even put his receptions up, guys, because
they got to watch out. They
don't want to take the loss.
Yeah, they might watch out for exposure, especially a quarterback wants to feed them, assuming they're to agree with Trev. But if they're up 13, they're going to throw them the ball on 1st and 2nd down. Why not?
Yeah, 100%.
So we'll jump back up to the top and we'll wrap this up. Get you fed on some nasty stuff, guys. We got some good plays. I'm going Cowboys as my dog of the week. If you can keep going all the way to the bottom, there's a couple more games that matter.
Yeah, Bears Packers. This line is weird. This is my fishy line of the week right here. This is my fishy line. I don't understand. I don't understand this line.
Do the Packers have anything to win for?
No. I mean, technically, but not really.
Do they have a tiebreaker over Washington with a win?
Yeah, they're basically completing with Washington for the 6, but are they really incentivized to win by 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns? I don't know, but man, Caleb's so bad.
It's that Green Bay defense, man. It's good.
Right. And it's just, but for me, this is the line that we said it last week, right? This is the line that's stuck. This line's here. It's stuck. It is not moving, which is, I don't know. This is my fishy line of the week.
If I had to play this, it's probably going to be under 41.5.
Yep. I like the under as well in this game.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a side there. If you made me, it's the Bears, but I'm not jumping all over it.
Yep, I like the under for sure there.
Seahawks, Rams.
All right. So I said it earlier, right? Gino has like 6 million and stuff out there. So that's going to be the number 2 bet behind Mike Evans.
The weird thing here.
Why are the
Rams are sitting people, even though this loss could cost them seating, right?
It makes no sense. Like they're starting Jimmy. Benson's the backup. They're not even going to have Stafford active.
No, I know,
Stafford's
but
not even active for the game.
What?
And Blake Corum's going to get all the run.
What's the reason? They don't care if they get Minnesota or Green Bay?
Nope. They said there's no difference. And they'd rather be healthy. McVay basically said, I'd rather be healthy.
I agree with this, though.
You know, like it goes to me, they're both equally really good teams.
Makes sense.
That's
the only thing. Playing in a dome versus playing in Green Bay is a little different, but he must believe they're equally disadvantaged at either, or vice versa.
Well, yeah, but they clinched. They already won. They already have the home game. They won.
The Rams do.
Yeah. The Rams already have the West.
Wait, so hold on. What's the situation then where if they win, they get one team, they lose, they get a different team?
If they win or Tampa Bay loses, they move to the 3 seed. So it just varies on who they're going to play, but they're playing at home in the first round.
Of course, yeah, that's just me being a fucking idiot. But if the Tampa Bay wins and the Rams lose, they drop to the 4 seed.
Correct.
It's interesting. That to me is worth trying to win.
Yeah, and they're not. They're just punted and said.
Although I will say the NFC is a little more top heavy. The likelihood of Detroit and Philly losing to me is a lot lower than Kansas City, Buffalo losing.
Yeah.
The talent is more evenly distributed in the AFC, where the NFC, it's a little top heavy.
Now, they're going to use Blake Corum a ton. I like Corum. The spot I like in this game is I like the over. I think there's going to be a bunch of points.
Yeah,
that's the spot. That's the spot I like in this game.
Fair enough. All right. Gino's got incentives. Let's keep going. Dolphins, Jets is completely worthless, guys. Sorry. Chiefs, Broncos.
Right. Broncos winning in, right? Broncos have to play to win. Chiefs are sitting everybody. Now keep in mind, the one that they're going to try to feed him a little bit is, Cortland Sutton's got 82 yards for $2 million. So not a little number. So, but Kansas City's going to know that, but KC's, basically sitting everybody. So they said, yeah, right. We're going to see Wentz, Carson Steele.
It's interesting though.
Samaje Perine.
If I'm KC, we were a field goal block away from losing to Denver. I don't want Denver in the playoffs if I'm KC.
I think
I'm not saying they're going all out.
Healthy enough to play everybody and we'll risk it.
No, I agree. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not saying they're going to do anything about it, but you don't want 2 of your division rivals in the playoffs.
Yep.
You don't want to play a team a third time.
Yep.
So that's interesting. It really is to me. I might be a little bitch and bet Kansas City plus 10.5 here.
It's a lot of points, man. Like, even with their backups, it's a lot of points.
I just think Denver's going to be more nervous. Kansas City's going to be loose.
Denver's D is legit, though, man. Right? Like they get their backups, and
no, I know. I'm just saying
it's a lot. I agree. Listen, the bet, the smart play is to take the points.
He's not. Right?
Denver wins by 6. Kansas City covers.
I'm not going to say Kansas City money line, but my stomach says Kansas City money line. I'm not going to say it though. All right, let's keep going. I'll take the 10.5. Chargers, Raiders, worthless.
Yeah, I mean they get if the Steelers lose and they win, they move up to the 5 seed, but it doesn't really matter. Like the Raiders are dead. Like I'm not messing.
I think the Chargers fuck up the Raiders. This might be my favorite under of the week. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders Team total under is the top 3 play of the week in my book. I'm going to go under 41.5 here. A nice gross 2013, something like that.
Yep. That game, like even if that game went, 10-6 wouldn't shock me. 13-6. Like
10-6,
we could see one of those ugly ass games there too.
Agreed. I agree, Gerald, too. Wentz has seen
yes
snaps in his day. So I agree. They got some good backups there.
Yeah. It's a lot of points.
We'll go real quick. The Niners looked loose. They should have beat Detroit.
I'm taking our points. Like
against Arizona. We're a first half team, though. We can't close
James
out.
Warner. Yeah, I still like our points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a homer. I won't have money on it. I really hope not. If I'm drunk, I'll have money on it. I would be Niners money line. Trevor likes the point. I like money line.
Yeah, that's where I'm at there. All right, now the game of the week, right? Vikings at the Lions.
Finally.
Right? Yep, finally, the game that is going to be fun and matters. So, first question, what is your opinion about that lunatic Dan Campbell playing everybody Monday night the way he did?
So, his coaching style, I actually get why it was an important moral win. It was a moral victory.
Yep.
I really do. He just doesn't take his foot off the gas. So if he did that in that situation, he's more like a coach taking a strategic approach, and that's not him. So I actually understand it and I support it because it's him, even though it made no sense.
Yep.
He showed his team they are better than last year. I get it. And we knocked him out in a heartless way. I thoroughly get the other side too, but not because it's Dan Campbell. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's I can argue both sides. Right, it's the risk. I think they're playing their style. So
if they got someone hurt, it would have been devastatingly hard-headed, but he's clearly hard-headed.
Yep. So for me in this game, I said it last week and we saw it. Minnesota got pace back. When Minnesota has pace and Cashman at middle linebackers, Flores can run a completely different defense. We have seen Detroit give up a bazillion points to these teams, right? Because they are playing with their entire second string defense basically right now. Like everybody on the Lions defense is hurt. The total is 55.5 in this game. I like Minnie in the points here. And I'm a Detroit fan. I want Detroit to go to the Super Bowl. I think this is a spot for Minnie to they're clicking. Addison's running, Jefferson's running. I like, as of today, I like the Minnesota side.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say is I just don't find those points any valuable. I'm looking at plus 145 right now on Bet Openly.
Yeah, the money line is the bet.
Yeah, I'll be on Minnesota. They're the gap in, I think you guys have heard me say this a few times, the gap in defense is wider than the gap in offense. So theoretically, yes, the Lions have a better offense than Minnesota, more balanced, better run game, more consistent quarterback, even though Darnold's having a great year. Goff is just I haven't seen someone as efficient and accurate with 4 spread wide receivers probably since Kurt Warner in St. Louis, greatest show on turf. So what the Lions are doing on offense is pretty magical, and Jahmyr Gibbs is a savage. So I say all of that. Minnesota's defense is substantially better than Detroit's right now. The gap is very wide on that defense, and the gap between Minnesota's offense and Detroit's is less wide. So yeah, it's going to be loud in there. This is the biggest season. This is the biggest season game in Detroit history, I would argue. Obviously, their home game last year. Who'd they play? Tampa Bay at home before they came to the Niners?
Yeah.
So that was a bigger game because it's a playoff game. But And they want the 1 seed. They want the bye. They want all these things, and everyone wants them to have them. I don't think they get it. I think Minnesota money line here is the play. I don't know if I'm willing to go on the under, though. Just so you know my style of fading the public and line movement and tickets, I'm showing 72% of the tickets on the over. I'm showing it move from 52.5 to 56. Everything makes me bet the under here, except the lights out electricity of these two offenses and the fact that Campbell will go out firing. He doesn't care if they lose by 21 if they're down 13. Yep. That's the only thing that scares me. He'll fucking go for it on 4th and 5 on his own goddamn 30 if they're losing. So I can't get there with the under. But if you made me bet the over under, it's going to be under. I won't be on this over. I really like the Minnesota money line here at 145.
Yeah, it's the Minnesota money line for me. It's there. So that's where I am. I like Detroit. My heart would like Detroit to win. It's the health. They're just they're just so hurt. If Detroit's defense is healthy, it's a different conversation for me.
Yeah. Before I hand Chubb the mic for his props, I've been doing pretty well on props lately. Yep. I actually like all the Aaron Jones overs.
Okay.
You might see an Aaron Jones 2 TD out of me get real sick. Maybe first TD, maybe 2 TD. I genuinely think Minnesota wants to keep Detroit's defense on the field. That's opposite, right? But you want to keep Detroit's offense off the field. And if they fight them electricity for electricity, they're going to wear out their defense. Where if they control it, they'll rest their defense. I think Minnesota's path to victory is Aaron Jones in control. Jet's going to have he's going to get his. Jefferson's nasty, dude. The guy, what is he at? 100 receptions? Fucking, is he at 1,500 yards? I honestly don't even know.
I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Probably 1,700, I'd guess. But I think he's the best receiver in the league. Obviously, Chase gives him an argument. But Chase, I think, has the best quarterback in the NFL. And Jet does not. So I think Jefferson is the best receiver. I'm not saying bet all his unders, but you probably could get some good value on Jefferson's unders just because of this injured Lions defense. So if you're going to put my name next to anything before I hand Trev the mic, Minnesota money line, I would be under, but I can't get there. Aaron Jones overs and TDs and Jefferson's unders. I wouldn't be surprised if Jefferson does not have a TD. I know that sounds insane, but you'll get a lot of value on that.
I actually like Addison in this game.
There you go. Addison's a savage too.
Yep.
Is he the best number 2 receiver in the league?
No, because you got T in Cincinnati. He's
I think
up
Addison's
there.
Better.
Addison's not better than T. If you put them,
okay, so
if you told me today I get to start my franchise and I got to pick one of them as the my number one wide, I take T and it's not close.
Damn, really? What about the age difference?
I mean that definitely has a little to do with it.
Right now, we get to sign them both for the same money, 5-year contract. I want Addison over T.
Oof. I don't think I could. I think I'd have to take T.
Damn. I like the youth of Addison, the upside.
Yeah. The other is Devonta Smith, right? You got AJ Devonta in Philly.
That's fair.
You got a little Jalen Waddle.
Devonta to me is more of that ballerina style.
Yeah, he is.
I don't love that shit. That ain't me.
Yep. So
we got our Ricky P. We're fine. So Trev, I lied to you. I was about to hand you the mic on the props. Before we get to your props, look at this. Let's assume nothing moves.
Yep.
Is Pitt favored in Texas?
I think they will be.
Yeah. Do the Chargers have a shot in Baltimore?
Oof. Like the Harbaugh rematch.
The Harbaugh rematch.
We saw what happened earlier.
God, I love that.
Yeah. Like,
I think I'm on Chargers fucking money line.
I'm probably going to go Chargers there. I think Buffalo gets it done.
I do too.
I-
That's a tough draw for Broncos.
Yeah, and I want to see Pittsburgh upset Kansas City in the next round.
Does the NFL reseed? This is how bad my brain is right now. Does Kansas City get the highest seed left, or do they automatically get the winner of Texas Pitt?
Well, no, well, that's where we were talking, right? Like, who ends at 4, who ends at 5? They get whoever, they get 4 or 5.
They get the winner of the 4 or 5.
Yes.
I don't know why. I just really think reseeding needs to be looked at. No. If I'm the Chiefs, I should be cheering for the Chargers and Broncos.
Yep.
But what do I?
Well, yeah. Look at Oregon getting stuck playing Ohio State after a bye.
Yeah, that's disgusting. It doesn't get much worse than what happened to Oregon. So Trev, if you had to go with one dog, assuming Houston's a dog, which I think they would be, which dog are you taking
in the first round?
Just AFC before we move to NFC.
Dog in the first. Chargers.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if I can get there with Houston, but man, it's a good buy low on Houston. Lower seed at home. I don't know, man. They're home. Fuck, would they be a dog? Am I being an idiot?
No, I think they're going to be like a 1.5 dog. Like, I think that's where they land. Like, I don't think it's a big spread, but I think they land as a dog.
Yeah, I think you're right. I really do. I'll stick with that. Home dog, prime time. Okay, jumping to the other side. Tampa Bay should have beat Detroit last year.
Yep.
They really should have, guys. When Detroit punted that ball and Tampa Bay ran it, I want to say to like the 45, all they needed was points there. Fuck that up.
Matty would have. I mean, the easy pick is to take the Packers over the Rams. Like, that's the easy one in my opinion. But I think the realistic one is, I think Washington can upset Philly.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game. Goddamn, they played each other close.
Yeah.
Washington's there. I think the Rams are live at home versus the Packers. I remember that game. The Packers were not as good as they are today. The Rams were way worse than they are today. And that took a pick 6. I want to say there was a pick in the end zone. There was a couple plays. But the Packers won. I had them in Survivor, but the Rams were in that game, and that was a worse Rams team than now. I'm curious where that line opens up.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be a real – I'm dying to see where they open that stuff at.
I might have Tampa Bay, not money line, but with the points. I really might, just because this Detroit defense is going to be a problem.
Yep.
It's going to be a big problem. I hope – it was a preview of Ricky's career, but the Lions made Ricky look like fucking Addison and T. Higgins. It was beautiful to watch as a Niner fan, except that we then had 2 interceptions on first down. The first down interception is just insane to me. I can't believe quarterbacks sail the ball on first down.
It was brutal.
It's disgusting. Where the Bengals play, no matter what, they'd be the lowest seed. So they would be the 7 up in Buffalo, brother.
Yep.
The Bengals, if they magically made it, they would go to Buffalo. The Bills don't want that. I'll tell you that right now.
No, they want that. They'll take Denver's D.
No one wants to play Cincy.
No.
They're nasty. They're the Detroit of the AFC.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I'll hand you that mic. I gotta get to bed, dude. I got a little one.
Yeah. All right. So again, guys, be careful getting burned, guys.
Don't steal from me. My 2 touchdowns, Aaron Jones.
No, I got you. I like some weirder stuff this week. Like, again, I like a lot of the defensive stuff. That pays. The one no one's talked about. Cortland Sutton makes $2 million with 82 plus yards. I like Sutton for 100. right? If you're going to go alt line, go Sutton at 100. They're going to feed him the ball. That's a massive amount of money. I like him there. I like that Von Miller sack for Buffalo against New England. As far as that goes, I'm going to be on an under here. Okay. Everybody's on, if he plays, everybody's on Tony Pollard because he's got a bonus for 2 TDs and 85 yards. I'm going to bet his under if he's able to go. And I think he's going to try real hard to go. I think division Houston, they're going to want to stop him. The other spot I like is if you can get an alt line, JK 58 plus yards is, I believe, 150K. It's, with what he gets there. So I like that. And then guys, I want to look at games you have to play. And then, we need to see who, get a better idea of who's going out. But the one on the Rams game I talked about earlier, I like Blake Corum. I think Corum's gonna get a ton of carries in this game. He has a ton of upside. So I like that from a perspective with the Rams. And then I'd probably go last one, if you had to today. I think they're going to feed Malik the ball, Neighbors against Philly, on his receptions. So yeah, Henry needs 1 TD. I think they give it to him. He gets it early. I'll probably have, what's his first TD line right now? Disgusting. So Righty's 255 for first TD. It's gross, but they're going to let him get it and then set Big Dog down.
That's what, yeah.
But I like that the Neighbors spot I really like in that game. And then Jamar Chase against Pittsburgh. Chase is going to get the ball since he has to win. He's been the most dominant receiver this season. So that's
crazy,
where I'm
right?
going. Yep. So still think about LSU who had Burrow, Chase, and JJ on the same team.
I know. Dude, not even if you look, well, that's impressive. But if you look, the other classes of wide receivers out of LSU, the LSU is a fucking printing factory.
Malik Neighbors is an LSU grad.
Then they went from Burrow to fucking Jaden.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, Trev, I appreciate you.
Yep.
Thanks for chiming in. We'll get Maddie on here for playoffs. And let's keep printing.
All right.
Appreciate the shout out at the beginning. 177 units. Trevor and I print, brother. I give you all the stability. Trevor gives you the degen upside. We both crush. Later, fam.
Later.